Alrighty, welcome to part 2. Like I said, I'm gonna cut it in 2 parts, otherwise it's gonna be way too long. It's already long. The other part, the first part, it's already very long. It's almost an hour. So yeah, so let's I want to go around and water the plants that I need to water. I don't know if I should start with potting up first or water first. I don't know. I'm still watering outside. I need to water inside. There's a few plants, it's not a lot, that needs watering. So, but you know me, I love potting up. So I'm so tempted to start with what I love the most. But then sometimes what happens is then I end up not having the time to do what is necessary, which is watering. I really need to water my plants. So maybe let's start with that. I just need to grab my watering can, the bigger one, and then we'll take it from there. Okay, I'm done watering plants inside. So I'm gonna go outside and finish watering outside, and then I'm gonna come back in and pot up those tiny little plants. So yeah, let's go outside. Alrighty, I'm back in the house. It's cloudy, like it just went cloudy from that nice and bright and sunny. Yeah. Anyway, my husband bought me this potting mat, and yeah, it's a very nice thing to have. I love potting in the house. If you see the the only thing, I must be honest, the only plants I pot outside is outside plants, and mostly because I'll be putting them in big pots and then they're heavy and all that, so I do it on the grass outside. But I enjoy potting on my kitchen counter. I love the height of my kitchen counter, and that's where I've always potted. It's not always that you'll find me on the floor. It's rare. I've got few videos where I sat on the floor or anything. Yeah, but I must be honest, I enjoy potting on my kitchen counter. So if you are like me out there, please comment on the on the comments down below. Make me feel better about myself that I'm not the only one. But hey, even if I am, I enjoy it. I love it. Yeah, until I have a station where I can do all my plant chores, my kitchen counter will always be that station for now. But anyway, that's what I'm gonna do. I've got my soil here. I don't know if I'm gonna need more than what I have here. I can go and get more in the garage. I keep my soil in the garage. But for now, I think I hope I have enough. But yeah, so here's my stuff. Here is my pots. So I just want to grab my succulents. I've got them some here. I'll show you what I mean by tiny little, these are tiny little stuff which I want to propagate. This is jade. These are the cuttings I got from my jade plants around my house because I want them to bush out. So that's what you do. If you want your jade to bush out and to be nice and lush and bushy, not leggy, it's important to trim it once in a while. You'll see where you've trimmed it, it will shoot out branches, and that's how it gets nice and bushy. So I'll show you the plants which I chopped these from. I've been doing this for a while and they look nice and bushy. So yeah, so I want to pot these up into their own little individual pots and see how it goes. But I just want to grab more cuttings around and then we'll take it from there. Alrighty, I'm just gonna keep it to these cuttings I have here. I don't think I'm gonna go around and get more, but anyway, I want to show you what I mean by how you can bush your jade, encourage it to branch out and get all nice and bushy. I'm going to cut this off. That's all you have to do. Basically, you chop this right here, and there we go. And you'll see when you come back after a few weeks, this will shoot out like I showed you on a previous video on the one outside. So that's what you do. So I'm just gonna let this dry up a bit and rest a bit and plant this. That's exactly what I have here, the cuttings I have here. So just gonna tilt my camera and we're gonna do this together. I need to first see how many I have. I'm sure by the time I've finished the last plant or pot, this will be ready to get in the soil. It would have dried up. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So I've got about 19. These are leaves, these are petals. I'm just gonna throw them on the soil. They have a way to just do their thing. So yeah, I've got about 13 here, and I've got enough pots for these, amazingly enough. So I'm gonna start with the tiny little ones. I wish Jonathan was here to see this, because he was asking me, Mom, how are you going to do that? How are you going to he was asking me how am I going to get everything to fit in here. So I wish he was here to see me do this. But nonetheless, I'm going to put this in here that I make as little mess as possible. So yeah, there is. I'm just going to fill up the pot with soil. I just want to grab a tray. Okay, this soil is super dry, so what I actually want to do is moist the soil up a bit. It's super dry, so when I moist it up, it's too dry. Well, the other way is to, okay, I can just pot it up and then I'll spray it as I go. But anyway, so we'll start with the tiny ones. Pat it in, and my chopsticks. I always keep these chopsticks, they come in handy. So let's start with you. Now, because it's dry, you know, when it's nice and moist, it's easy to create that hole. So there you go. That's the first one done. That's the first one done. I hope you can see. That's the first one done. Okay. Now we're going to do the rest. Just a minute. We're gonna do the rest, so I'm just gonna put them all here and fill them up all at once. It's gonna look so cute. You know, that's what's nice about propagations. You know, you can give these away as gifts to your family and friends. You know, yeah, something you've done, something special. You've taken time to do it for them. You know, these are absolutely beautiful. You know, you can pass it on as gifts. I'm just gonna poke a hole like I did with the rest with the first one in the middle. And then we take the tiny ones, because the tiny ones are definitely for this pot. And just make sure it's all nice and tucked in there, not loose. You just want it nice and tucked in. I mean, how cute is this? I'm looking for the tiny ones. I think, yeah, it's between this one and this one. You know, so just put a little bit of soil. There we go. So yeah, this is absolutely beautiful. Just gonna dust them off a bit, but when I spray them, it will clean up all the dirt off. This is beautiful. You can definitely give this as gifts. You can give it as gifts. So now we're gonna go to the medium ones. These were our tiny ones. I wanna actually put these together because I've used all my tiny little pots, I think. So let's make room for 2 in here and see how they get along. Let's make room for 2. Just put one here just to see how they will get along, and then we put one right here. Can add a bit of soil, and hopefully they grow just fine besides each other. Keep each other nice, keep each other company. There we go. So I've put 2 in here because they are tiny. Yeah, I don't have another tiny pot. Now we move on to the medium size pots. Can you believe it? Now I'm chipping it and breaking it. I don't even know. Something chipped. There's the chip here. Here's a chip. But at least it didn't break. It chipped right here. Right here. But it didn't break. Thank you, Lord. So yeah, gonna put soil in there. You know what's funny about these? They don't have holes. The tiny one and this one have holes. These ones don't. So I'm gonna have to be very careful watering them. But I know I can take a hammer and a nail, and then I just get a hole there, but I'm scared I'm gonna break it, you know. So I'm just gonna leave it there. They're too small, and you know, to cause any, you know, problems. So I'm just gonna leave it like that. They don't have holes. I don't know why. I mean, the whole collection at the nursery shop, when I was picking these out, all of them of this size don't have holes. Then I don't understand why. It doesn't make sense. You know, it's upsetting, you know. But nonetheless, it's not going to give any issues because it's such a tiny pot and it's going to dry out quick enough before it creates any problems. So I'm okay with this. I'm just removing bigger, you know, bugs that are a bit too big. I take them off. You know, there's bark in here, you know, wood chips. So some of them are too big for these tiny pots. Alrighty, so we've got them all full. We've got them all full. Now we need to put plants in. I'm gonna do the same thing. You just prick in the middle, just make a hole in the middle like so, just to make it easy for it to go in. They're all nice and soft and flimsy because I've had them sit, they've been sitting out for a long time waiting for this moment. So after this, I'm going to make sure that they're thoroughly watered. So we want the small medium ones in here. How beautiful is this? This is absolutely stunning. I love it already. Yeah, something tiny. I'm looking for something tiny. Okay, almost there. And one more. Wow, this looks amazing. These look absolutely beautiful. They look so beautiful, so pretty. And the last about 15 pots, so 5 each. The last 5. Okay. Alrighty, I'm gonna fill it up like I've been doing. While I feel this soil is a bit on the dry side, it's actually very nice to work with dry soil than it is to work with wet soil. I love working with either dry soil or moist soil. Not too wet, just okay. But wet soil, oh, it's not easy to work with. Well, it does the job, but then I feel like the mess is a bit more. It's a bit more messy when the soil is a bit wet. So I'm glad I ended up not putting moist on this soil. But once I'm done planting, I'm gonna make sure that it's well watered. Alrighty, let's do this. So yeah, just make sure that it's all in there, and we're gonna do the same. Just make a hole there in the middle. Oh, gonna make a hole in the middle for our beautiful tiny little plants. Jade, I love jade, I love it. Okay, there we go. Just tuck it in, make sure it's well tucked in, it's secure, it's not going anywhere. And another one. Okay, I think I've got more plants here than the pots. I think so. So I might put 2 in one pot. We'll see. So there we go. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I've got, so I'm gonna put 2 in one pot. Like these tiny ones, I can put them together in one. Like make a hole here on the side, like I did with the other one, and then make it face out. And then I'll put another one right next to it. Give it a friend. Let's give it a friend right here. Then we tuck it in. Yeah, like that. I'm sure it's all tucked in like that. As they grow, as they grow and settle in, you'll see they will come back up. You know, they're a bit, like I say, they've been sitting there for a while. So I've got, even here I'm gonna put 2. Yes, 1. Make it face out, and then tuck it in. Make sure it's all tucked in. Okay, and then we can put 1 here. And 1 more tiny one like this one. And then we can tuck it in. Make sure it's secure. Once you water them, they get even more secure. They hold on, like the soil, you know, brings them out, you know, it makes it a bit tighter, which is nice, and they're not loose that they can fall out or something. Not that, I mean, not that they will. The only time they'll fall out is if the pot falls, which, yeah, it's not what we planning on doing. Okay, so I'm left with 3 cuttings here, including the one I just chopped. But this one, I'm gonna give it more time just to dry out. So I can have 2 in here, 2 in here, and 1 in here, isn't it? So let's do this. I'm gonna make a hole here on the side, and we put this one and we secure it nicely. Just make sure it's nice and firm, and then we make another hole, and we can put this one. We can put this one in and secure it. There we go. Then I'll put these two together. I'll put these two together. I'll just move it to the side. It's moved to the side, and make sure it's all nice and tucked in, and put one right next to it. And tuck it in. If you don't like succulents, I understand. Not many people love succulents, but Jade, trust me, it's a plant you want to try out. It's a very beautiful plant. It's easy to care for. It doesn't have issues. You know, it's a beautiful plant. You can keep it, if you look well after it, you can actually keep it for years and years and years. So I would advise, I would challenge you, maybe challenge you to try Jade. If you feel succulents aren't your thing, I would challenge you to try Jade. I'm gonna put this one alone and not water it today because I've just recently gave it a cut. So I'm gonna put it alone here, and I'm not going to water it. I'm gonna leave it alone. I actually want to remove these petals. Then I'll water it maybe tomorrow or in 2 days, once I know that it's dry. So I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna leave it alone. I can even put these right here like that, and we'll come back to it when we do. Okay, so this one I'm gonna put it aside. I'm not gonna water it. So yeah, there, we're done. That's it. I don't want to make my mat wet, so I'm going to move this off the mat, clean up my mat, and then we can spray these nicely to give them a good soak. Isn't this beautiful? Oh, I love terracotta. I don't know if you are watching this, please let me know. I love terracotta pots. You know, I do. I don't know if one more can fit here. No, not really. Okay, fine. Let's put them aside. I'll get another tray. I do have another tray. Let's move this. And let's dust this into here. And let's put this away. Yeah, it's nice to have a planting mat. Thanks, hubby. Thanks to my husband for getting me one. You know, I really appreciate it. It means a lot. Yeah, I love it. I've been looking for this, and I could never find the size I want. Every time I go to our plant shops, they've got a smaller size compared to this one, and I felt that's way too small. I need something a bit big, and he ordered this for me online, and I love it. So okay, we're going to water this now. the fun part. I'm just gonna get another tray quickly. It helps to have these trays around. They come in handy. So we're gonna do this. So I'm gonna leave them on the tray. Oh, you know what? Even this you can water. I mean, nothing is really gonna happen. You can really give it water. For me, you know, I know some people say let it dry first, and I've done it both ways. I must be honest, I've done it both ways. I've taken a cutting. I don't know if this is working. I've taken a cutting, a succulent cutting, and directly immediately put it in the soil and gave it water, and it didn't rot, you know, it didn't rot. So I've done it both ways, where I leave it to dry up, meaning the part where it was cut to dry a bit, to dry, and then I put it in the soil, give it water. And I've also done it the other way around, where I immediately after cutting put it in the soil and water it, and you know, I've had success with it. I've never had issues with it. But if you are not sure, you can really put it aside and let it dry first, like give it a day or two and then give it water. But as for me, I'm just gonna water everything because really, yeah. So that's it. So we're going to give this water, and that will be it for our video for today. I love this little yeah, spray bottle. Ooh, let's change the setting there. Yeah, that's better. Just gonna soak it softly. You don't want to press hard for water, for soil to go everywhere. And also while you do this, you want to clean your succulents from dust or anything. There's nothing wrong with it, from soil, you know. There we go. And I'll keep you updated as to how these are doing. Maybe after a few months. yeah, it will be after a few months as to how they are doing. Once I start seeing new growth, I'll do an update. And you know, you've seen how many they were, how many they are. Then I'll show if there's one that didn't take or survive, you will know. I'll let you know. You know, the good, the bad, and the wonderful. I don't like saying the good, the bad, and the ugly. I mean, already I have bad. I mean, why have ugly? So the good, the bad, and the amazing, right? The miracles. Yeah. So just want to make sure they're nicely soaked, because this soil was very dry. They were very dry themselves. They've been sitting on my kitchen counter for weeks because I didn't have pots for them. That's why I left them for so long. I didn't have anything to plant them in, and I didn't want to plant them in something and later on have to remove them. And I know myself, I was going to remove them, because if it's not the pot I want for a plant, I won't settle until it's a pot I want for a plant. So yeah, that's why I decided to give it, that's why I decided to wait until I got pots for them, and I'm glad I did. Let's just go again on this one, just to make sure that the soil is moist, because when the soil is very dry, what happens is the first drink or two, it just sips out of the pot, because the soil repels the water because it's super dry. So you have to go at it a few times, and then you know that, then you are rest assured that the soil is wet, you know. Yeah. But I love this spray bottle. I really do. For things like this, I love it. Well, I could also use my watering can. Got my watering can here. But this is much easier. The pressure is nice. And it does it slow enough for the soil to sip water slowly and soak up quicker. Because if you do it quickly and the soil is too dry, no, then the soil doesn't take up the water quick enough. It just rejects it. So I think this is enough. I'm gonna let them sit on the water that they're in for, then I'll take them off. I'm going to pick up my son from school. So I'm done. I'm just gonna clean up my mess quickly, you know. Yeah, I've got tiny little saucers for them. I couldn't find one for this tiny. They don't have a size. They don't have a saucer for this. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Or nor do they have it for this, because this one is the right size for this one, you know. So it's fine. It still works for this one, but I feel like it's absolutely ridiculous for this one. Though now that it's got a pot, now that it's got a plant in it, I think, yeah, I might go back and fetch and buy 5 more of these. I think it looks nice now that it's got a plant in it. It makes sense. It does make sense. It didn't make sense to me at the garden shop, so much so that I ended up buying this one. But what I don't like about this one is that it's got a different color. So but it works. I think it works. Let me know what you think. I think it works. I don't know. But anyway, it's been fun. I'm going to fetch my son. I was thinking of taking you along with me. I don't know, it might make this video long. I've got a music lesson after this. Me and my son. Offense head hairs Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for spending the day with me. If this video was not already long, I was going to take you along with me. I'm going to pick up Jonathan, and from there I'm going for my music lesson. But it's been fun. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to your comments. And like I said, I'll keep you updated as to how they're doing. It will only be, that update will only come once there's new growth, and which sometimes can take a while. So, but I will definitely keep you updated as to how they are doing. And yeah, again, thank you. Have yourself a beautiful day.